everybody. Beatle Dave calling from Derbyshire in the UK. I hope everybody's fine and dandy. I thought for this video we'd have a look at another one of the Beatles American LPs, and this time I thought we'd have a look at something new, which I think was released in 1964, and it's basically a LP made up of tracks that were left off the American Hard Day's Night album, because obviously the Hard Day's Night album in America was half like Beatles songs and half instrumental, where in the UK it was all just Beatles songs. So this album is actually made up of the remainder of the Beatles songs, plus a few EP tracks and a German language recording, and some B-sides as well. So this is as far as I know, this is a genuine American pressing from 1964. It's on Capitol, and it's T2108, which I think means it's a mono recording and not a stereo recording. It is a high fidelity recording. So the tracks are on side one, I'll Cry Instead, which of course was on the British A Hard Day's Night LP. Things We Said Today, which was the B-side of the British A Hard Day's Night single. Anytime at All, again from the British A Hard Day's Night LP. When I Get Home, again from the British A Hard Day's Night LP. Slow Down, which was released on a EP in 1964 in the UK called Long Tall Sally. Matchbox, again, that's an EP track. Side 2, Tell Me Why, again, that's on the British A Hard Day's Night LP. And Our Lover, I'm Happy Just to Dance With You, If I Fell, and then a German language version song, I Want to Hold Your Hand, which is pronounced something like Komm de mir de Hand. And I know I've said that wrong, so I do apologise. You do get a little bit of liner notes. Obviously, it was recorded in England and produced by George Martin. But in the USA, it was actually compiled by, is it Dave Dexter? So really, this was like the third Beatles American LP in less than a year. Because you had Meet the Beatles, which was like your version of our With the Beatles. Then there was the Beatles' second album, and then there was the Beatles songbook, but that wasn't them. That was other people singing them. And then this one. So this makes three, doesn't it? So that's the front cover. And that is the back cover with the track listing. And the cover isn't too bad, to be honest. But like I've said before, with some of the American ones, they seem to be like printed direct onto the cardboard. So you do tend to get a lot of like ring wear. I mean, really, that one's not that bad, to be honest. There's a little bit there and a little bit there. The spine's okay, but you can't really read what's on it, can you? But then again, you know, it is 50 odd years old, isn't it? Very heavyweight record as well, to be honest. File under the Beatles stroke vocal group, that's what it says up there. And then that's that high fidelity thing. So like I say, this is a mono, which I don't know was the norm or not in 1964 for America. This is the inner sleeve, so I presume that this is the original inner sleeve for it, because it is a Capitol one, and it does say music. Every Way You Like It is on Capitol Records, both in high fidelity monophonic and glorious full dimensional stereo sound. Vows here for these four tops in entertainment. That's like an advertising sleeve as well. But it doesn't actually advertise any Beatles LPs on it. Seems a bit strange. Seems a little bit thicker, this. So this is the labels for side one. Again, it is on the rainbow, capital rainbow label. That's side one. And then that is side two. Nice flat record. Now this, in the dead wax, it does have a triangle, which I think does mean where it was pressed, which I think means is it a Scanton press? That could be wrong, because there is people that will actually collect the American albums from where they're pressed as well. In the dead wax, it's just a number T2108. Then underneath it, on the label, it says T/2108, and then underneath that in brackets, it's T-X-2-2108. This isn't in too bad a condition, to be honest. There's a few very, very light scratches on it. But like I say, you know, it's 57, coming up to 58 years old, isn't it now, this? When I first started collecting Beatles records, obviously I live in the UK, so I was brought up with all the Parlophone stroke, Apple stroke, EMI versions. So I used to think that some of the American albums weren't that good. This is when I first started. Excuse me. So I just used to think, well, all they've done is like got one LP and made like 2 or 3 just by adding a few like extra things and B-sides and things like that. And then I used to think, well, in one way, American Beatles fans are getting ripped off, because obviously in the UK, most Beatles albums up to like 1966 had 14 songs on, although the British Hard Day's Night only had 13. But the British Hard Day's Night was the only British Beatles release in their like career, i.e. from 1962 to 1970, that was contained only John Lennon and Paul McCartney songs. So, like I say, you know, you'd always get 13 or 14 songs. That's what I'm saying on the Beatles UK LP. So on this, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're going to get 11 on this. I don't know how many you got on the American version of A Hard Day's Night, because I don't think I've actually got that. I think that's one that I haven't got. No, I haven't got it. I know I haven't got it, because I keep looking out for it, and every time I think I find a really nice copy, it seems to go for a lot of money. I didn't pay when I was getting these. I don't think I actually paid a hell of a lot for them, to be honest. But it's like everything, they've gone up in price. I mean, I'm going back 10, 15 years when I was getting these. So yeah, like nowadays, I can't remember how much I paid for it. And I don't know what it's worth, because there's that many different pressings of the, you know, like I've said before, there's so many different pressings of the British ones, and there's so many different pressings of the American ones. I know it's an original 60s press, but I don't know if it's one from 1964 or from later on. I know it's before 1969 straight 1970, because then they all went on Apple, didn't they? All the Capital Beatles albums suddenly appeared on Apple for some reason. So I know it is an early one, and I know it's on the sort of like the original Rainbow Capital label. But if any of you people know what it is and what that triangle means, I don't know. It looks like at some point this has had some stapled to it, because there's 2 little staple marks just there. Unless it was on somebody's wall or something at one point. Like I say, it is actually in quite nice condition. But yeah, all in all, so yeah, although in America you would class this as a fully fledged Beatles album, in the UK we'd sort of like class this as like a compilation album really, because although it's called Something New, there isn't really anything new on it. I mean, there was to you in America at the time, because it was just the leftovers from what you didn't get on your version of A Hard Day's Night, wasn't it? But yes, all in all, it is a nice album. It flows good. I'll Cry Instead. I love that song. I always like think that could have just about been a Beatles single, or maybe a Beatles B-side. Um, Things We Said Today was a B-side, obviously, and then the rest of them I really like album tracks or EP songs, aren't they? I mean, the only thing on here that is actually new is the German language version of "I Want to Hold Your Hand," sung in German. It seems a bit strange. I've actually got this on German Odeon as well, which I think is a reissue. Now, the other strange thing about this is we're saying how much EMI and George Martin and Parlophone didn't like the way that Capitol went about, taking tracks off the British albums and making different albums. There's this one, Something New, and Beatles 6, is it? There was 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, so saying that EMI and Parlophone and apparently the Beatles didn't like the way that these albums came out. In the late 60s, you could get both of these on Parlophone. Yeah, you could get both of these on Parlophone. On the yellow and black Parlophone label. And they're sold in the UK, text and everything, and the Gramophone Co Limited on the rims. But there was actually for export, so there was CPS, I think, CPS or CPSC, something like that. 101 and 102, I think they were. And there's actually for export for other countries. So although technically they are British LPs, they're not, because although there was manufactured and pressed in the UK, there was never officially released in the UK. Where I think half the places that they went to, you could get these albums, like the American versions or Canadian versions or even the German versions anyway. So to me, it always seemed a bit of a pointless exercise, where you'd have thought they'd have put it, they've done that, they would have actually released them in the UK, but they didn't. And they are now very, very expensive. I mean, expensive. For original UK, any of these, if you get the original UK export ones on their yellow and black Parlophone, they're worth anywhere up to £1,000 each. Got to be in good condition for that, don't get me wrong. And by good, I mean near mint, excellent at least. You can also get them on the silver and black one box EMI logo, and I think they go for around usually the £600 to £700 mark. But like I say, they're probably be worth more now, because it's like everything else going up in value. So yeah, for saying how much Parlophone and EMI said they didn't like the way that the Americans did their albums, it's strange that they released these two on UK for export. UK Parlophone export. Like I say, very, very good albums. Apart from that, it's been a bit quiet really, because as you know, my miss isn't that good at the minute. I'm back at work, so I haven't really been since Christmas. I haven't really bought any records. So I just thought I'd show you some that we haven't really looked at. I know we've looked at some of them like very, very briefly. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, by the way, hello, and thank you for joining in with us. If you're not new, if you're regular, hello, and thank you very much for joining us. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome to view my channel. As I've said before, I'll say it again in case you're new to the channel. This channel is called Beatle Dave. So 99.9% of the time, we are talking about the Beatles, whether that's LPs, singles, CDs, EPs. Sometimes talk about books and films as well. Then we do things on other artists as well, like a special. We usually do 1 or 2 of them a month. So we've done things on the Sex Pistols, Billy Preston, Jackie Lomax, the Kinks, the sort of thing. But like I say, 99.9% of the time it is about the Beatles. which is probably why you're watching it anyway, ain't it, to be honest? But also, I'm not just a Beatles fan, I am a record collector as well. So that's why we do show other things as well. I have been collecting records on and off for over 40 years. So, this channel is basically me showing things and sharing my knowledge with you. Sometimes I have little stories, excuse me, to go down with them as well. Sometimes I don't. But I do try to make it entertaining. I don't take myself too seriously. I talk when I'm like making these videos. I sort of like have to imagine that there's somebody like sat there. So if you're talking to somebody, you're gonna make mistakes sometimes, aren't you? And you won't say, "Oh, let me start again." You just carry on, won't you? So that's why I say sometimes I will make mistakes. Not very often, but sometimes when I do, I do. But like I say, I'm not really that bothered because everything I say is just my opinions. So if you've got your opinions, that's fair enough. If you like my videos and you want to subscribe, please do. It is free. If you want to leave comments, please do. But only leave comments if it's something to do with what we've been on about, like the records, or you might say, "Yeah, I know what that triangle means." So Beetle Dave, it means it was pressed at so and so, or yeah, I've got a copy of that, but it's on a slightly different capital label, like it might be on the red one or purple one, or it might be on the Apple label. That I've got no problem with. But please, 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 please don't send a message and then try and get me to go to an naughty site, because I won't do it. All I will do is report you straight away. Because that is not what this site's about. This site is about the Beatles and record collecting. Now, if that sounds like I'm moaning, I'm not. I just want to put people straight, because I must have reported about a dozen or so things, and it's usually when I'm doing the live ones like this as well. So please, 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 if you're going to make a comment, please make it about something that's got to do with the content of the video. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to go at anybody, but this channel isn't for that. This channel is about the Beatles record collecting. So that's going to be about it for today. Like I've said, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you like the Beatles, this is probably the channel for you. There is other channels that talk about the Beatles as well. But everything I show you is my own. I do own it. I don't get sent it by Parlophone or Apple or anybody like that saying, show this on your channel so we can sell more product. That isn't what this channel is about. This channel is basically about somebody telling you about their records and showing you them, and that's basically it, really. A couple of things I did get at Christmas that I forgot to show you is Get Back book, which I haven't actually had time to even look at yet. That was off my mum. And then I got that one there, The Last Days of John Lennon. Now I've never even seen that book before. I've had a quick look at it, and it does actually look quite interesting. That was off my sister. So whatever you're doing for the rest of the evening, here in Derby, it's horrible. We've had rain, snow, and everything today. So just stay safe. Like I say, if you do want to leave comments, please do. If you like my videos, please leave a thumbs up. And obviously, if you do want to subscribe, please do. Like I say, it doesn't cost anything. And that's going to be about it for today. And it's probably been not one of the most exciting videos I've ever made, to be honest. But this is it. What you see is what you get. I don't go through and edit them at all. It's like I said, when I do a video, this is how it comes out. So if I make mistakes, they're kept in. I want to keep it real. I don't want it to look like I'm in a studio and I'm like a headmaster preaching to you. And on that day, he did this and he did that, and so played it. I will give you information on the records. Don't get me wrong, but it's all done in a fun way. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. So, like I've said, thank you very much for everybody that has supported me. This is now in January. I think it is the 6th month that we've been doing the channel. It is starting to get a few more subscribers and likes and things like that. So for everybody that has liked and subscribed and left nice comments, thank you very much. And that's going to be it. So whatever you're doing, please stay safe, and I will see you on the next video, which might be in a couple of minutes, because I've just remembered there's something else I got that I haven't shown yet. So I will probably do another video on that. So stay tuned, everybody. And just remember, all you need is love. Stay safe. And thank you for watching my channel.